Hello, Graham Vincent, Violinmaker, musician, in the workshop again. I'm back on the wormy chestnut violins. They're coming on really well, actually. It doesn't look like it at the moment, but because I've still got various things in pieces, but we'll have what looks like violins very shortly. So, I mean, I'm quite keen to make these little videos interesting for everyone, but at the same time, I'm obviously trying to make a living making violins. So I do my best to make this one interesting, but basically you're just going to see me in the workshop doing what I would be doing if you weren't here, so to speak. So if you don't mind me just carrying on and wittering inanely as I go, I think that's probably going to be the best I'm going to manage this week until we get to the Q&A. I did do a video at the beginning of the week, which I hope is a little bit more organised and sensible, with a bit of a theme. Anyway, so yeah, that was about purfling, wasn't it? That was, as you can see, things have moved on a fair bit since then. So what I'm doing at the moment is, because I use locating pins, I know that the back has gone on in precisely the place it was when I marked out the edges and so on, and I'm now actually just putting a line on the inside of the back, so I know what I can work to and where I need to stop effectively. Then it's straight on with the thicknessing. So I mean, the first one is kind of slightly academic, really. So let's not get too carried away with that. We're going to go straight in with a plane. And take out some of the centre. This wood is slightly dusty, so I have got the extraction running. I've always liked chestnut wood. I actually made a kitchen out of it once upon a time, a long time ago, of English chestnut. This obviously is American chestnut, slightly different, but when I say slightly different, it's got very similar characteristics. Again, it looks very much like oak, but without any medullary rays, and lighter, not as hard, not as dense. In England, it was sometimes called the poor man's oak, and it used to be used in oak furniture for like drawer sides and things like that. Save a bit of money. Right, I think I ought to start checking as I go. It feels like it's about 6 mil thick, I think now. What I've talked about before is my arching tends to be concentrated towards the centre a little bit more than some. It doesn't spread out as far, so I don't know if you can see that there. So you get this flat area here, which means, I mean, when I say flat, or lower, there we go, that's a nice, you can see it there, sort of lower area, shall we say. That does mean when you come to do the insides, there's less to be taken off, of course. So. full of holes. The my plan generally is to take it all down to one thickness, slightly thickened area at the sound post, and maybe allow it to go a little bit thinner on those edges. Only tool I'm using is the big thumb plane at this point in time. I might go to a slightly smaller thumb plane. If it was maple, I'd probably be using a scraper as well. But there's no irregular grain in this. So I think straight off the plane is going to be fine. I've been quite proud that I've always answered every single question that everyone's put, or very close to every question that anyone's put on my YouTube channel. But these last few days, it's getting busier and busier, and I've been finding it difficult to keep up, to be honest. So I do apologise if you think you've asked a question and you wonder where Graham's gone. Graham still intends to answer your question. It's just being a bit snowed under. And as I say, one thing I need to remember is that I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a violin maker, and that's where my money is. So obviously, making violins has to come first for me, really. Sure, you'll understand. You're generally nice people, from what I can tell. So, with this fairly nice wood for working, with a fairly sharp plane, with this easy system for marking things out, we're really getting through the thicknessing of the back quite quickly here, I'd say. I'll slow down and work a little bit more accurately as I get closer to the thickness. We're getting there. Oh, close enough to warrant a sip of tea anyway. Oh. Sorry, you probably don't want to watch me drinking tea, but everyone needs a cup of tea now and then. You see what I'm doing? I hope so. Do, 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 do. Good. Right, I've run out of holes. Let's put some more in. This time I think it'll be the last pass on the Stradivarius pointy marker thing. I don't know what the term is. Depth marker? I don't know. The really cold weather in the UK has now given way to really stormy weather, so it's not as cold as it was. It's still jumper weather, but it's the insulated dungarees were too much today, so it was just back to the normal pair. Right, let me show you that. I've got that's down to depth everywhere, so into the holes, so to speak, are full depth everywhere. You could hear it hitting the stop there, that clacking noise, which means this will be the last time I mark it up. So I've left, well, I will leave a patch around the sound post. Away we go. good. Yep. Just like that. And yeah, it's going to be left like that on the violin. They're not going to be filled in or anything. I love it. It's going to be great. Yeah, that will affect the sound, I'm sure, but in what way, I don't know. We'll see. But that's, I'm not going to scrape the inside or anything. I'm just going to leave that straight off the plane. I'm happy with the thickness of it, which must be, it feels like it's about 3.1, but this is a fairly light wood. I don't want to take it any thinner than that. It feels about right. So about right is good. As I say, I've left it slightly thicker at the sound post, so that will give it a bit of strength, which is good. I'm going to sign off now. Cheers folks, look after yourselves, bye.